What's up, everyone? Chuck Capri Sports Cards coming at you with a little different video. This time, this is something I've been waiting to do. I was waiting on one card to come in, TTM, that you guys will see at the end. And getting back into racing. I'm not, I'm still collecting baseball. You guys have seen that still on the channels. I'm not quite as heavy into it as I was before. Pretty much now is literally just my PCs and that's it. And, give you a little bit of a story. I don't want to keep, make the video too long, but Danny and Grace, they got me back into the racing, man. Watching Danny's son Gray and some of their videos, it reminded me of what was fun about racing. And I haven't watched a race up until a couple months ago. I haven't watched a race since Dale Earnhardt passed away. It just it wasn't in me anymore. And those two brought the fun back. And so I wanted to do this. A lot of these cards I got from Danny. A lot of them I already had in my in my collection from before when I was into racing. So a lot of these are some old school autos and stuff. But I'm kind of doing this one for Danny, and then some of my other friends that are into racing too. That's why I got the cars out here. I'll start out first. Nice John Force, probably my favorite racer ever, besides Davey Allison and Richard Petty. But an autographed John Force 1/64 scale. And then I picked up a Ross Chastain because when I got back into racing, the first race I watched was the one that he rode the wall, full bore, pedal to the metal, rode the wall all the way around. And this was the paint job. This isn't the exact car because this is actually from a Victory, which is why it's covered in confetti. But that's the paint job that he had. So my first official back into NASCAR, I had to get Ross Chastain. So that's why those are in the background. But yeah, this video is just going to be, I don't know how long it's going to be because there's quite a few autographs, but I just want to go over my autograph collection of just the cards. I also have hero cards. That'll be another video. Let's just do this one so you guys can check it out. A nice Bobby Allison with Davey Allison. Rest in peace, man. He was one of my favorites ever, man. I love the Alabama gang. And then another Bobby Allison. Oh, what the heck? Why not another Bobby Allison? You know what? Why not another Bobby Allison? You know what? You can't have enough. Why not one more Bobby Allison? All right, let's change it up a little bit. Let's go with Donnie Allison this time. And this is one of my favorite cards. This one I'm actually going to be sending out soon. But this is Mario Andretti up here. I met him at car show. Oh God, it's been a long time now because it was back when I lived at my old house before I moved out this way. So we're talking probably 17, 18 years ago. I met Mario Andretti at the car show. But this was one of my favorite races actually in IndyCar back when I used to watch Indy. But it's Mario and Danny Sullivan. And Danny actually hooked me up with Danny Sullivan's address. He says he does TTM. So I'm going to send this to Danny Sullivan so I can get both of them to autograph it. That's going to be sick. I'll probably, once both of them are signed, I'll probably one-touch it because that's just beyond awesome. And then we got Christopher Bell. From what I can tell, like I said, I'm just getting back into the racing. Definitely an up-and-comer. It's going to be a great driver. Going some old school here. A little Brett Bodine on 88 Max. And then his brother Jeffrey Bodine, Ken Bouchard, Kurt Busch. That one's a little hard to see because of the color of the card, but you can. And then there's another Kurt Busch. I need to get Kyle. And then this one, I forget who this one was. Okay, this is Jeff Burton. And then Ross Chastain. Another Ross Chastain. This one Danny sent me for Christmas. I very much appreciate it, man. You are awesome. Derek Cope. Ricky Craven. This one is Bill Davis. He was the owner of the car. This one I absolutely love. Danny hooked me up with this one too. I missed out. He was doing a sale and I missed out on one. And I reached out to him and he said, yeah, he had an extra one. So he sold me this one. But a Dale Earnhardt Jr. in-person autograph. So that's awesome. I love it. And then Jeffrey Earnhardt. Chase Elliott. And then Ernie Elliott. One of the best engine builders in NASCAR history. Here we go. One of the best crew chiefs ever. Wasn't a huge fan of Jeff Gordon back when I was growing up. Me and one of my best friends, we used to call him Punk Boy, but Ray Evernham, one of the greatest crew chiefs ever. Red Farmer, I absolutely love this dude. Another old timer with the Alabama gang. Another Red Farmer, as it says right down there, Alabama gang. Jimmy Fennig, used to be the crew chief for Mark Martin way back in the day, as you can see, Max 91. Absolutely love Jimmy Fennig. Again, one of the greats ever. Tony Fuhrer, another great crew chief. He was the crew chief. Let's see if it says on there. I can't remember who it was for. Oh, well, we'll skip it. We don't want to waste too much time. Harry Gant, gentleman Harry Gant, one of the greats. Gotta love it. Scott Jeffreyon. He was a pro stock drag racer. Not all of these are NASCAR. Some of them are IndyCar. Some are drag racing. Also, just so you guys know. Jeff Gordon. I got this because, well, it's Jeff Gordon. Whether you like him or not, he's still a great driver. Bobby Hamilton. Doug Herbert from drag racing, Top Fuel Drag Racing. Bobby Hillin Jr. Numbered out of 143, hand numbered. Steve Meal, another one that was a crew chief for Mark Martin. Awesome crew chief. Jimmy Horton. Ernie Irvin. Dale Jarrett, I used to love that guy. Ned Jarrett, one of the greatest announcers in NASCAR history. Jimmy Johnson, kind of hard to read. If you get the right angle, you can see it, but Jimmy Johnson, one of the greats. And then this one, Greg Anderson and Kurt Johnson. I believe this is Anderson, I believe, that signed it. Drag racing. Eric Jones, gotta love this one. Air Force, go Air Force. My brother-in-law, before he passed away, was in the Air Force. So shout out to Ken. Terry Labonte, the Iron Man, one of my favorites. Joey Logano, this year's champ. Used to work for Pennzoil, so it's kind of cool that this year's champ is a Pennzoil driver. Kyle Larson, I got this one because during one of Danny's sales, everybody was going absolutely ballistic over Larson. I had to find out who he was, but now I know who he is, and I can see why everybody was going crazy over him. Guy's awesome. Chad Little. Jimmy Makar, another awesome crew chief for Bobby Labonte, Interstate Batteries. Dave Marcus, always loved this guy. Used to do all of his races while wearing wingtip shoes. I don't know how that was approved by NASCAR for fire safety, but he did it. But another Dave Marcus. Sterling Marlin, I pulled this one out of a pack many years ago. Shark Tooth signature first bite, number 147 of 600. This one's back from 1997. I got this the year I was married to Kathy. Mark Martin, one of my favorite drivers ever. Jeremy Mayfield, I got this because this was Kathy's favorite driver. Larry McReynolds, again, one of the iconic crew chiefs ever. And this one, he was on the lows. I believe this year he was with Mike Skinner. I could be wrong, though. And then Larry Mack when he was on Haviland. Jerry Nadeau. Another Jerry Nadeau. Todd Parrott, again, one of the all-time great crew chiefs for Dale Jarrett. Phil Parsons, old-time NASCAR driver, gotta love it. Larry Pearson, another one of them. Here's another iconic. I used to collect crew chief autographs. That's why I have so many of them. But an iconic crew chief, Ryan Pemberton, used to be the crew chief for Rusty Wallace. Kyle Petty, what a beautiful signature. You gotta love that thing. This is one that I got way back in the day in person. This one I got from Jimmy at Redbird Breaks. He TTM'd it, and I won this in a giveaway. That thing is just absolutely gorgeous. You gotta love that one. This is my first ever Richard Petty autograph. It's very hard to read that one, but I love that one. Robert Presley, I used to love watching this guy drive. He was one of my dark horse picks almost every single Sunday. And then here's another one. And then this one is Scott Pruitt. Used to race Indy cars, but also NASCAR. Another Pruitt. Jerry Punch, one of the coolest sportscasters in NASCAR history. I used to love watching, or listening to this guy. So definitely got to get a Jerry Punch. And when Danny had that, I had to jump at it. Ken Reagan, this one, I grew up in NASCAR history. I don't remember this guy, but I got it in a bulk buy from Danny. He had a bunch of cars from the 88s. I don't recognize his name. This one, Scott Riggs. I love this one because of the flag in the back. Enough said there. Shauna Robinson. I got this one from Danny because this is another one. Kathy, before she passed away, she absolutely loved Shauna Robinson. She loved to root for the underdog. The Cat in the Hat, Jack Roush. You got to have a Roush. Probably one of the top 2 or 3 owners in NASCAR history. Johnny Sauter, again, got to love the American flag on the back. Morgan Shepherd. I got a few of his autographs on the hero cards, but this is my only NASCAR trading card with it. Lake Speed, used to love watching this guy when I was a kid. Hut Strickland, another one I used to love to watch. I don't know what it was. I loved the underdogs back when I was a kid too. Danny Sullivan, I'm super stoked to have this. I used to love Danny Sullivan when I watched IndyCars, so I'm very, very happy to have that one. And then here's a Danny Sullivan when he actually did a little bit of stock car racing, so that's kind of cool to have one on Indy and on stock car. Darrell Waltrip, who doesn't love Darrell Waltrip? Boogity, boogity, boogity. Rick Wilson, another Rick Wilson. Eddie Wood, part of the Wood brothers, along with Leonard, probably the most iconic car owners ever. Here's another one of my favorite. I think I'd actually have to say probably my all-time favorite NASCAR driver ever, Cale Yarborough. First race I ever watched, my dad put me in front of the Daytona 500 where he got in a fight in the last lap, so you just got to love that stuff. And then these last couple, I love these two because, again, going back to the engine builders, Doug Yates. Probably, in my opinion, and don't worry about the number, that has nothing, that's just Danny had a whole bunch of cars and he numbered them just to make it easy for him. But probably, if he's not the best engine builder in NASCAR history, he's a very close second place. And then his brother, Robert Yates, who was also the crew chief. And then I bought a card off of Danny, mainly to go with my my military, collection and whatnot. And it's a Richard Petty card, so I sent it off to BTTM. I didn't have the envelope. I already opened it up, but it's the last card I want to show for this collection, and this thing is absolutely sick. But it's Richard Petty next to a battleship. So I sent him that to have that thing autographed, and it just pops. That is so gorgeous. Richard Petty has probably the coolest autograph in sports history. But I got that, I sent that to him. I think I got it back in like 5 days, 6 days maybe. It didn't take long at all. But so that's that. That's my racing card set. Like I said, I have a bunch of hero cards. That'll be a whole nother video for another time. But for now, you guys just have a great one. Enjoy the rest of the year. Be safe. And I'll see you guys around the channels. Bye.